Welcome, everyone. Welcome here to Karmic Dynasty. Oh, goodness. I am back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. It's been like 2 years. I'm just straight
Woo!
hiatus. Straight hiatus. All right, y'all. I'm glad you all are here. I'm glad to be here. I'm
Yeah.
glad, of course, coming to the platform once again to you all, and an honor to have King Adonis here. King Adonis, if you would introduce yourself again to those who are not sure, to those who don't know, and to those who know. If you know, you
Yes,
know.
yes. Shout out to the ones who know I am yours truly, King Adonis. I am that I am eternally. I am being the most authentic being that we know ourselves to be. And we are here to help inspire, liberate, and to be the change that we want to see in the world and to co create a reality of higher harmonies than the experiences that have come before, and we are moving forward into greater and more incredible miracle moments, miracle and miraculous moments. So welcome, and I'm so happy to be back here at Karmic Dynasty.
I don't know where the hand gestures come from, y'all. Y'all know we unscripted over here, so let's roll. All right. So now I did plan to return to my channel, come to my channel again, probably in like 2 weeks from now. However, um, this Nature Boy cult series came and hit a series, hit our TVs, those of us who will tune in over there. And I'm like, what? Nature Boy on TV, Disney, TV. I hit the Disney option on my TV. And I was just, I was hold on, what? And I had to double check my vision. He is where? So, then the alarm went out across the platform. I got notified. If I didn't know, I was about to find out. And then I had the feedback from people, and I'm like, and then I got the request. Look, we need to do this. I said, okay, we could do this. I could come out a little bit sooner than I planned. So King Adonis definitely he's joining me here today to talk about the Nature Boy Cult series. It's a 4-part series. If you don't know, if you tuned in, you know. King Adonis, you wanna tell us in brief, because we're gonna cover it. Tell us in brief what your itinerary is today. What's the agenda? What's your
So
approach? What we gonna do on this Nature Boy series topic?
we just gotta, I feel like there's a lot of symbolism, and we just going, I want to read it as a playbook. It's like, so, because this is also a testament to the experience where we're at now. So we gonna cover a few different topics and scenarios and how it relates to today, and how we gonna be doing better as a collective.
Okay. All right. So for my starters, I want to first say congratulations to Nature Boy, because he was already global, but he got a series through Disney,
Yeah,
and
Hulu.
as
This
we see,
Hulu.
ABC News
What?
Studios.
Mm.
Now, regardless of everything, congratulations, Nature Boy, Alihio Bishop, because we have heard of our share of conscious community, social media characters, personalities. I don't recall not one having a series on a TV through Disney, Hulu, ABC News. No news, no where. They have the series that they create on their YouTube channels, their TikToks, the ones followed by their critics who carry on the series by them. But these are at this point some non. They didn't make it. They don't got theirs yet.
Mm.
So he did something right. Now, he's not the only, we know, conscious community character, personality that has had the word cult attached to their persona, their environment, their who they are when they come to the public. But he the only one. So we ain't gonna, it ain't cause he labeled a cult that he's on here and labeled to other cult leaders who's made national news, global news. That's one approach where I'm coming from tonight. Welcome everybody's coming in. I'm glad y'all here. I'm appreciating y'all.
Peace, everybody.
Hey, but you know, something is happening, has happened that NatureBoy is at this situation. It's not because he got locked up, because we know there's some conscious community personality characters that's had their handcuffs, clink, clink. They've been locked up. They ain't get a series. Do we want to talk about how NatureBoy got his series about him on here? And then I may want to touch on how this series is in every voice but his. Yeah, they played his voice on there when they played back some audio and some videos. And at the very end, there was supposedly a phone call from the jail with him addressing the networks. But I'm curious to see the day there's a part 2 where NatureBoy can tell his side of a story. Because they say there's more than one side to a story.
Yeah, there was.
Where his at? Y'all know I'm gonna bust up the lie.
Come on.
My bad. Go ahead, King of Dance. What you saying?
It's so much. It's so much in there. Like it was so. I feel like the timing of it too is so significant because like they released and like we got to think about like the platforms, right? Like Disney and Hulu Plus. They got this it's an interesting story to portray to children to see and to put on like what type of energy is being associated with like children's platforms and like entertainment platforms, right? And how this information is being displayed and portrayed for people to absorb on like social spaces is very impactful because it's being showcased to all ages. And like even just getting into the word cult, like they're showing people the secrets of like the lives and the experiences that people went through. And those were only some of the experiences, but they were also like able to shine a light on like the good and the bad. But we're gonna get into all of that too because it was layers. It was layers. Like being able to like decode the different relationships that were happening on the platform, um like they did things in teams, right? They had the team, they separated the man and the feminine. They had all these different structures and then they had their name. And you know, it really comes back to like the purpose of like doing things for self and then doing things for content, because I feel like when they were doing it for the content piece or for doing it for like themselves, it really hit people different and it was shown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was shown in like the different episodes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what you just touched on right quick is another thing I'm addressing tonight. Individual agendas. As I asked you when we came, what's your agenda this evening? What's your itinerary? What's your approach? What is your intention?
Mm-hmm.
My first soon as I saw the first interview, I was like, okay, what is this person's intention? How much is the ABC News Studios and or Disney, Hulu, however, whatever, paying this person? What was the amount of that check that they went to cash deposit? What was the intention? I did not see anybody interviewed that was in his favor on his side. Now I saw supporters that were pre-recorded outside the courthouse in his favor, but I didn't see any one-on-one direct interviews with anybody on his side, on NatureBoy's side. I saw all the naysayers. Now, ABC News, how dare you? You acting like Fox News right now with these one-sided stories. Just beat him down, beat him down, beat him down. I'm also gonna want to address his journey, NatureBoy's journey, like his. And speaking of intentions and agendas, I'm pretty sure he did not start out on a Pinky and the Brain mission. And when he left, started in New York and made his way across and back up out the States and back into the States, and he had all this outlined and pre-scripted, I know he didn't. There's no way. There's no way. Because in order for him to do that, he would have first had to know all of the people that would have joined him along the way. He would have had to know the people, like the law enforcement in the different countries that he was going to cross paths with them. Say again for me.
I said all the diplomatic foreign relations. That was something that was like real interesting. They could have interviewed an officer or one of them, somebody to really get like in details about the type of structure or the systems that they had in place. Like even just to like as they were going, because I feel like there's so many details and so many stories that were probably not mentioned to. We know that there's a lot of stories that weren't spoken to in that display, because you can't really put entire story. You can't put so many people's stories together in 4 episodes. And I feel
especially not with their voice.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was very targeted for the message that they wanted to display about him, and it's like there's so much more about it, because even when you look into like deeper about the different types of like engagements that he has, like he still has like other like wives, so I've been told, or like other types of engagements, and there wasn't any of those voices to be able to speak and have more perspective to that as well, because it's like I feel like what the entertainment industry of ABC News and Hulu and all these big media, they're trying to put a persona of what coming together looks like, and
for some reason choosing him.
It's really interesting when we think about it in that light as well, because
again,
yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say they're making like it's an example.
Yeah,
different layers.
And the other thing is, so when you mentioned the other wives, that is why I mentioned his supporters, because I know of 2. I don't know how many, but I know there are 2 wives who are current on his Facebook page. And so before I'm about to go into, because we almost 15 minutes in, I'm about to go into each topic. Now, I told y'all a little bit my intention and my agenda here. And y'all know my platform is known as busting up the lies. It's all lies, but hey, some of the lies I bust up publicly, some of them I don't. But y'all called it. Y'all gave me that handle. I didn't, but I got y'all. So come on, Cody. Cody, I sing you. Long, I'll be your ear. I appreciate you and your voice. My moderator, don't mess with him, because Cody will kick you up out of here. But we ain't got none of that. We ain't got none of that. Anyway, so we're gonna go into these topics specifically. But first, I'm gonna share my experience. And I kind of had to leave my desk right quick. Did you already share your NatureBoy experience, King Adonis?
I didn't
like when you start watching him, or
I didn't have a particular like.
Because I'm about to share mine. You want to go first?
No, I'm gonna let you go first, because my perspective on it was like why? Like I was so like I guess I will go first, right? I guess my main question was just why? Like why put that perspective? Why add those voices to that that portrayal of so many other people's stories, you know? Why add that, why associate such negative connotations to a story? Because I'm pretty sure they could have put a lot more positive energy or experiences in that whole cultivation or broadcast of how it came together, in order to be able to like highlight like some of the true aspects of what happened within nature. Because this is just one nature boy story. There's multiple nature boys, and the fact that they have you know, like even like the fact to the point of him getting arrested and going to jail, and like they call and them calling it justice, is it's layers. It's layers.
Real. So there's a lot of things you've addressed. I'm going to address those in some details. Right quick before we go into that, I'm going to share at this time my Nature Boy experience in brief. I don't know if I can remember it all to share it all, but I'm gonna give y'all the general overview. Now I was around when I started. I don't remember my first Nature Boy video or none of that, like some of the people interviewed in this cult series. Um, what I will say is, of course, I think I came on social media about 2018. So, you know, all of it was new faces to me. Some of the people I know, I heard of now and I hear their name. I don't know them, never had an interviews or anything, any personal interactions with them, but I hear their name and I know who they are. But when I became aware of Nature Boy, he was still in New York. I know he was in the grocery store showing us at that time, back then. I've seen a lot of it since then. The PLUs on the produce, you know, and then he told us about which PLUs mean what in the stores. And then he also was taking us through the aisles. And basically, overall, whatever is in the aisles is no good for you. Stay on the outside of the store. And at this time, I was already, because of the health of my mother, I was already reading ingredients on boxes. I had already through the laundry seasoning sought out my kitchen. You know, I was already in my awareness phase. And so then, you know, he had his group. I was watching them. And again, before my Nature Boy experience, I was already Costa Rica bound. So listening to him, following him on social media, and he said Costa Rica, that was another one for me. Another thing that grasped my attention. And I was in more, and I wanted to know more, because for me, you know, I can read and I can look at videos on YouTube about Costa Rica, but to see somebody do it in real time, and they real time left New York, and they real time got some people going with them, and in real time, I can see firsthand better what life for me in Costa Rica would be like, and other things that's personal, but like as far as the lifestyle and how to eat there and how to get the food from the market and also some other things. So I was able to see it firsthand. Now, then he went into one of the things with Nature Boy for me that was another takeaway was his teachings on how we chose our parents. And that was something I had never heard of before. Now, since then, there's the perspectives, I'm on them, but he was the first one. Nature Boy was a first for me in the teacher realm of this type of stuff and astrology. Nature Boy and Ramutef Queb. Y'all know Ramutef Queb is the Karmic Dynasty astrologer expert, as well as my head of my security team. But yeah, but with my direct contact with Ramotef Queb, I was able to learn more faster. So, you know, I have a lot of my knowledge is from Ramotef Queb and El Moore, the universal humanitarian. He's an astrology expert for Karmic Dynasty as well. So, but yeah, the perspectives and anybody who knows me knows I love to learn, and I'm a student of life. That's what I call myself. I want to experience more than one culture. I want to experience more than one way of life. I want to experience different languages. And in that want, that's what I've desired, and that's what I've held. That's what I have, and that's who I am. So you look down the list of my over 400 videos on my platform, you're gonna see all kind of topics. You're gonna see all kind of backgrounds of people on here, and you're gonna see comments and interactions from different types of audience members. Some people ask me, "Well, what's Karmic Dynasty about?" It's about the dynasty. That's what it's about. Well, is it just it's about taxes? You had a tax video. No, it's not about taxes only. Well, you need to pick one topic. So when somebody asks me, look, I don't need you pick a topic. So when they ask you, you can tell them. I'm not about to dwindle my platform down for you. Anyway, you know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, you know, this is the legacy. This is where we're here to build legacies, to let the people know, to drop the receipts and the facts and the real authentic experiences for real.
For real. And that's the problem. People not being real, like this NatureBoy cult series. This is not real. And actually, even with his voice, is not real, because the real happens in real time. And real soon as you say real time, that real time gone. The current real time here. Right. And by the time the next real time, it's always the current. Anyway, I ain't going down that rabbit hole. I'm telling y'all. So NatureBoy and his wives, and there are videos on here about polygamy and my perspective on polygamy. So that was a topic that I was steadily studying through another man, because I don't know NatureBoy. I've had contact with NatureBoy twice, and it's documented. This other guy wanted to know me. He wanted to make me a wife. So he was coming from the salesperson perspective, and people know me, know I do not like salespeople. But hey, you want to insist that I need to be living in your trailer with you as one of your wives? Bring it to the platform. Come on. Nah, nigga, bring it to the platform. Come on, let my people tell you how ridiculous you look. Nigga. Fuck. So anyway, NatureBoy gave me a neutral mindset of a man experience to listen to, without all the arguments and the persuasion in my head, in my ear. So, but and of course there was the food. NatureBoy brought the food, you know, experiences, as well as what was told in the series about how they would poop in the ground. So, and through that, I was in the military, so I've done my share of pooping in the ground and covering it up, but it wasn't a lifestyle. It was a situation.
Right.
Okay. Right. But if I need to, I'm already there with intention with it. You know what I mean? But what I did learn from him was the teachings of squatting, the importance of squatting when you poop. So my ass went and bought me a step stool. So and it ain't the squat, it's the half. Bought me a step stool so I could be and to get my feet up
position.
And have my feet up near the toilet seat and poop like this. You know what I mean? NatureBoy taught me this, and it's so much smoother coming out. Y'all better
wow,
feet up there. I need to get them down. Let me back up. But y'all know what I mean? Come on, NatureBoy. I learned some things. So, not to say in the end result, what I say it should count for anything. I'm just saying there's things, and there's a lot of things he taught, and I was there. The God theory, he is God, I am God. peace reflection, which helped me see in a world where one of my children told me one day, Mama, everybody ain't like you. And I was like, damn, that's sad. Everybody like me, Mama. But hey, peace reflection is there's a part of you that is me. I am you. And it helped me in my perspective see people in these cultural settings that I was becoming a part of. It helped me understand people more and look more into their perspectives of things. And the community, which you touched on, it gave me a community minded outlook. So when I was on my tours, which I ain't never been on a lecture tour, I didn't know it, but and it helped me in my contacts with my audience when I would be out on tours. And one of the eye openers for me is going into a room full of people or the grounds someplace outside that I don't know. You know, I'm showing up at a place and I'm like, okay, myself outside of here. I'm like, okay, let me get my snacks. I need this plate. I need this plate for this fruit. I need this for my vegetables. You know, I'm out here like, okay, I'm going over in this chair, and I hear joy, and I'm like, hey, reflexes, hey, and I'm like, hold on, don't nobody know me here. I don't know them. But reality was they know me from here. It was something I had to get used to. So that whole peace reflection thing helped me realize who I am. These people are here to see me. Sometime in part, sometime I was part of a group setting and they came to see a few of us, but it just helped me realize more of who I am and my influence in the community. And then there's people who's like, Joy, you gonna have a group, you gonna lead the group. I'm like, I'm not a group leader, I'm a teacher. I'm just here to share the news and bust up the
Okay.
fucking lie. You need you a leader, you go find somebody like NatureBoy. I don't know to tell you. And in brief, well, hold on, let me share things. So I called NatureBoy one time, and it was a birth chart reading back when he was doing those. He first started those publicly, and I just had a few questions. I need to ask for a whole reading, and that was on the phone, and that was about the time they were starting the music in the studios. Um, and the second time he was, what was NatureBoy was somewhere, and he was, I think it was on YouTube, and he was trying to figure out how to do StreamYard, which is where I'm streaming from. And he was like, if anybody out there know how to do this, and I chimed in, and he was like, yeah, here go the number, call me. I was live with him and his wives, helping him walk through it, and he got on his own. We disconnected, and he's been doing his thing. So that's my perspective. I have a few times my Cashapp receipts, my witness, sent NatureBoy some money for him and his Costa Rica lifestyle. Because brother, I can't do it, but here goes some help. Keep them cameras rolling so I can see what that looked like. Here you go. And that's my part, my little spiel on my NatureBoy experience. I also right quick want to share, which is important in this cult series review and breakdown. So for people who investigate NatureBoy, I got a few things in my mind right now. But anyway, I must say my thought left me. It'll be back. But you got something to say while I remember this?
I was so into him because you was dropping them bars, you was spitting that heat. I was like, yeah.
What's up?
It's really interesting. Like a lot of and you know what's been coming to mind for me is like the story about Rashad Jamal. Like even the story, like, you know, because they called him a cult leader and then they had him arrested, and it's like they ain't do no documentaries on him neither. But there's you know, it's still a whole lot of like information, and it's like people that have come up hearing and listening and studying a lot of the information by these thought leaders, by these you know, spiritual gurus and these new voices in the community that have like huge wisdom, huge lessons, and then also like something that came to me was, you know, having a good start and having the right people around you along the way. Because I feel like that if he would have had like the right people around him along that journey, it could have went a different way.
Okay, King Adonis. Now you know I gotta come with some wisdom. Now I know you have a reason for saying what you just said, but for the people out there who heard what he just said, y'all know I'm about to say those people were around him for the correct reasons.
Right, right.
You know, everybody got their part,
Triple A,
and,
indeed,
and
indeed.
even the naysayers, if they wasn't around, ABC News Studios wouldn't have had a cult series to share.
These things are true.
Because again, they cult series is only made up of the naysayers as who they
Uh,
interviewed.
and that's why we gotta, and that's why it's important for like these types of shows to be able to highlight the different types of like experiences and journeys that actually took place within like these communities. Like for me,
Mm-hmm.
I only caught wind of some of the different teachings. So, being for me, it was more about recognizing things from a spiritual lens and learning like the redemption process of like what it actually means to for him to go to nature and be in that community. Because Costa Rica for me is sacred ground. It's like the
Okay.
first village, and there's some, even myself, I've received invitations to be on those grounds, and like we have these grid lines, so like there was a call
Mm.
for all of those different energies that was there, and for like the land to be, you know, built on by the people that come from here, because it's we are. And then another aspect of it too was like he gave people the opportunity to travel. Some people got a chance and experience to see the new lands that they would have never.
Mm-hmm.
We as a people, we carry like genetic memory, genetic codes, and being on that land, that was a part of the mission. That was part of the assignment to be able to feel the land, to be able to have those experiences, for other people to have a vision to see what's possible.
Okay, so that's one for the side of why did Nature Boy get a cult series on from ABC News Studios and Disney Hulu? Because he was able to gather the people and move them out. The other social media teachers have been some of them labeled cults. They even have got locked up. They got mug shots. Did they move up people? No. Check. That's one for Nature Boy. Because we gonna give him his credits today. Y'all heard the naysayers. It's some things. We gonna talk about what you ain't seen it. We gonna share what the naysayers had to say. Now, I'm gonna go down my list. I've been taking notes as not to interrupt and to keep the flow going. Plain as say. So, my point, first point, the naysayers' agendas. So, for one, I've seen my share of interviews. His wife, Velvet, she had her interviews before he got locked up. She was already out there doing interviews, you know, what her agenda, what her point is, because all these platforms don't pay you no money. They don't give you no money. That's how you come on, say your piece, get their views. Oh, remind me, comment, like, share, subscribe. Comment, share, like, subscribe to my channel. Share the video. Share
Please
the
and
video,
thank you.
y'all.
Thank
Please.
you in advance.
And thank you. I appreciate shit. Moving on. Now, Nature Boy's intention journey. I'm gonna address that right now. Um, Again, I promise he did not do a pinky in the brain mission when he started out. He had his intention. The feedback, the response, he was able to build and do more. He was able to have options, look at them, weigh them out, and see what was best for him. Now, there was a time or two, there was or two, literally, that I was like, I'm gonna call Nature Boy and see about going out there. Now, will my calendar allow me to go out here? You know, for me, and you talking about moving the people. one of the things that gave me the confidence to be like, I'm gonna think about this, is the fact that it was public. He went live. The people there with him went live. It was even on the Canada news channels when that one girl went down there with him to Costa Rica. You know what I mean? He was not hiding nothing. He was not hiding everything. I'll say that. He was a public personality, character.
Yeah, people they lived online, like,
for real. Enough of it was online. If the switch up was that intense and different when the cameras went off, that's a whole problem. Which was addressed by one of the naysayers in the series. They talked about the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
It was high one minute, low next minute. High, that will kind of drive some people kind of crazy. It will kind of stress out some other people. Some people live for roller coasters. They good with the, you know what I mean? They good with all that. They thrive off of it. What are you saying for me?
They be riding those emotional waves of and you know, a part of that mentality is about being in community, and that hunger for being in community and having things in order, and like those type of disciplinary systems that just keep people together. It's kind of like religion in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like for
me,
I know that religion is just like another aspect, because some people could say spirituality is a religion, where like we all have our own different values and integral codes and like formulas and systems to keep ourselves in order and in proper balance, and when we align on those foundational principles, and you know, it's really about how we choose to make them manifest. And then when we get on, like, and then when we get onto like these platforms and we see the cult, like, it's like, okay, what's the cult about? And then it's like NatureBoy, and then you like, it's just like the words in itself, like seeing how the words are programming the perception of what people want to speak about, the type of work that goes on in communities that they really are unfamiliar. And then it's not until they come over, until they get the real experiences of more than just what's being projected on the big screens, because these little voices matters, the voices of the people, voices of our own experiences, and how we, like, literally, because we're all like reflections and mirrors and portals of each other. So like those different experiences is a part of other stories and a part of our story as well.
It is. And speaking of our stories, and so carrying on with NatureBoy's intention of his journey, this series just attacked him like he set out to set the people up and take their money and rape the women. Can I say that on Facebook and YouTube? Rape the women. I mean, ABC News Studio said it. Disney Hulu said it. But I guess if I want to say I didn't go on their platform, I don't know. Ain't like I ain't got hit with a copyright, some claim strike before. Oh, well, I shut down my own channel. Y'all see?
That's what it is.
And but again, the only way he was able to get to the height or the depth that he did was because of the response of the people. There's no way he could have built and did anything he created and did without all them supporters and without the people who was sitting there supporting him in real time. He did not do this alone. He started out alone, maybe, depending on how you look at it. All of this is a part of, so I'm wondering, this is something I'd have to look into, because y'all know I will investigate some shit. But where is there the word accomplice come up somewhere here?
Right.
Accomplices. Where nobody, and as the series pointed out, nobody else got charged in this series. So they just keep pointing out NatureBoy is the crime lord. He the only one that did jail time as part of this
You know,
in
and
this series that were investigated.
multiple people participated, but it's still just the one name in the title. It's more to the story there. Like what's coming to mind for me is like all the charges and like the different law cases. Like what was they really, you know, where was all the team and the support then? Especially since they had the different layers in front of like the layers in the different groups going on to keep the community afloat.
And then they tried to say, right quick, community. They was trying to. There was points in the series where it was said that he purposely went out of country to do his crimes where there was no jurisdiction. So when he would return to the States, he wouldn't be held liable. Like he had a whole checklist, like check, I did that before he left New York. That was his intention. This is my scrap paper, y'all. This is tax form. You need one? Y'all know I do taxes. You need this upside down, please. And this for the state of Indiana. This is a Is this a yeah? This an interest anybody? Okay, that's all that's on here. Calm down. He was not had no checklist start out pinky in the brain. Like, yep, I'm going to Costa Rica, go do these crime acts. Check, 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 check. And then I'm gonna go to another country in Hawaii and check, 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 check. And then I'm gonna go to Texas and then I'm gonna be good in Texas because they gonna get me. Cause you know what I mean? That's come on now. That's not what happened. And y'all know these documentaries, they be full of shit. And I'm here to point out some of they shit. Do I gotta put my knees up again? Do I gotta squat before we take this shit?
Yeah, show them what we learned.
I'm not taking no shit. But if you gonna take a shit, this is the formation. This is the posture. Okay. I'm not taking a shit, but you gonna get in formation. Get your posture right. Anyway, I was the naysayers. They was looking crazy to me. Pure shame. Y'all they followed this man for years. Now all of a sudden, they done seen the light. They seen the light. And he's so wrong. You know what's sad is it took him to get locked up for them to be released from him. They act like he had them locked up. So him being away, they were free now. No, that's not how that worked, I don't think. And from some of the words of the ones that wanted to act like that, actors, because I've seen them. They would go live, like you said, on their own phones, their own platforms. It's an act. At some point, I truly tuned in for the entertainment because at some point it became entertainment. And I knew what page it is to go on to be entertained. And then when I wanted the knowledge, I knew when to tune in and where to go on his platform to get the knowledge. But to say that NatureBoy had them hostage, no, it says that them people was weak. And again, they said it themselves in the phrasing of, oh, no, we didn't say no to NatureBoy. If you said no, he would make you leave. Well, what's wrong with leaving? You all up his ass like that, you don't want to go. So you signing up, grown ass.
About that. It was like people were so worried about, like, people were doing, like, this is the word, like, inner authority is like so important. Like, people were separating themselves from their families. Like, at what point does accountability for all the people that were saying yes to showing up, and like the one girl in the documentary who was saying that she blocked her whole family? It's like, if there just be some, you know, people got to weigh their options a little bit better, especially when it comes to like taking a spiritual path, or what they think is a spiritual path.
Hey, it's crazy. These people, they contradict themselves in this documentary, and if you listen, if you have an ear to hear, you'll hear it. I'm not saying NatureBoy is right. I'm not saying he wrong. I don't know what NatureBoy is. I know what he's been to me. But we ain't here to watch the Joy and NatureBoy series. We're here to talk about him. Because a person shouldn't have control power over you. And if they do, it's because you gave them the power and the control over you because you wanted to be controlled and you want to be overpowered and out of power. So deal with the consequences. There's this world I came into probably about the time I came into social media where you did it to yourself. A lot of people like to play the blame game, and it's happened a lot in this cult series. Y'all need to watch it. It started April 28th, so you just now hearing about it. It's still on Disney.
It's just coming out. Just coming out.
Just coming out. And the thing is, if something they lack accountability, and these naysayers lack accountability. They did share their, oh, well, I saw NatureBoy and I wanted to go story. Like how I shared my NatureBoy, how I came into NatureBoy. I did want to go, but I didn't go. But anyway, y'all know me. If some shit jumped, I'm jumping. Bye. Ain't no, if he don't like it, I gotta go. Then you ain't gotta put me out. I'm leaving.
That part. Personal choice, personal authority.
For real.
Everybody had a choice. They were supposed to read the privacy. They were supposed to read the privacy policy and the terms
and the small print.
Okay.
Because you got that legal background. We want to talk about. He know what he talking about. He got a whole. You want to talk about it right quick? We got a legal team on the platform, y'all.
Because that's a whole. That's for part 2.
Okay, we doing a part 2. It's official. We doing a part 2.
Yeah. That's a whole thing in itself. That's the whole purpose of the 4th episode. Like really getting into like the details of like the case, because that's a whole lecture in itself.
Okay, because I want to getting into the details of the case. My one question right now is what happened to, what's the word I said? Accomplices.
Yeah, the accomplices.
Where they at?
Him, right? Why was it only him? What happened to the people that were out there and the rest of the ones that were getting deported? Because he ain't do it all by himself.
He didn't. And with this case, he currently locked up for life plus 10 years. I think that's how that went. Where's the people who were around when he supposedly, what's the word, accused of raping that lady? They was there with their testimony. They said her Uber was outside. So they were eyewitness accounts. They were inside the house when it happened. And many times they talked about how he would get into a fight with some people, or the videos was there, how he would have 2 people fight and or have a group of people get on one person. They were part of it. Where they sentenced at? Who's pressing charges against them? Did any of them get charges pressed against them? I don't hear none of that. They want to use this man for an example. And the way he did it to himself, they're able to use him now as an example. But at the same time, to me, they help him build his platform by putting the awareness of him on Disney with the ABC News Studios affiliates. Just, hey, ABC News been around, Disney been around, Hulu's kind of new, but come on now. They help. When I seen this, I said, are they trying to defeat him? Because he's still alive. And even when he transitioned, he's still gonna be a voice of the community. They are helping empower this man. They are helping build his funds. After this documentary and people watch this, I bet his wives and or him gonna get more money. They're gonna get more support.
Because this is just the start. This is just the beginning of how this story is unfolding. And
for real.
I'm pretty sure that there is a lot of uh, paperwork that went into this type of production, especially yeah, that's gonna be yep, confirmation. that's that's gonna be it, because like
It's ridiculous. They help and build up, but at the same time, another contradiction. This whole series, cult series, is about contradictions. They talk about how NatureBoy, he didn't. They did like a time lapse of him and still pictures, I think it was, of him when he started out, and him kind of in the middle when he became chief, and then when he became God, and then him in prison. Well, he started out like this. Well, then he changed. Things change. What the fuck do you mean he changed? He's supposed to. His change what kept your ass there. His change would have me keep tuning in. Each moment is different. That's called change. Dumbass nigga. It wouldn't be me, a motherfucker talking to like that. He changed. And you stayed. The fuck wrong with you? You don't want him to change? Nothing about his personality said he gonna stay the same. And nothing about our existence says staying the same is even an option.
you gotta grow. It's time for growth on
Ain't
perspective.
even no choice. You might
And
grow this way instead of that way. Sometimes things curve down as they grow, and sometimes they go up. But growth is imminent. It's gonna happen.
it's inevitable. We all gotta grow.
Inevitable.
Like,
Dumbasses. They
mm-mm.
just looking so goddamn dumb. Y'all, they need a leader. You
Yeah.
gonna be a sheep. You gonna need a leader
That's the
because
problem. That's the one they don't they know that they were the ones that were a part of the problem too. So it was easy for them to be able to talk about all the different whatever things that they were talking about in the movie, because like
all of his
even
wrongdoings.
is exact, and that was the focus. That was
Mm-hmm.
they shouldn't have chose. They should have focused on their part and what they were doing, and how they got to those positions in the first place, because they all were acting like they couldn't say no.
I can't say no. Because if I say no, I get beat up like his wife did. I had to go home like his wife. I had to escape. What? Okay. The amount of times the police showed up at the door, you could have rolled out with the police, even in the States. But hold up. Because you know what? I almost must bust up that lie against the naysayers. The naysayers, they innocent. The people interviewed in this cult series is innocent on all counts. I'm gonna tell you what happened, how I know. I've been on my share of news stories. I sat down with reporters, and you know what happened? The mofos hit that edit button and would take what I say and make it with how they want it to be the approach to the audience that they serving on that evening's news. So I'm pretty sure the naysayers that I'm labeled them naysayers because that's how this documentary has them exampled. This is how they have them portrayed as naysayers. I'm pretty sure they said some good stuff. I know all of them people interviewed did not go in there with just straight negative and against NatureBoy accusations and words and examples and scenarios. I know they didn't. That's just something I know. They all did not go in there with that. The edit button did it. There go the lie, bust it up. It was the edit button's fault. For real. You know, so serious. Now, let's address some of the specific stories. Besides taking the shit. Anybody ready to take the shit? Yeah, pull your knees up. Take the shit. Come on now, take the shit. Now,
Okay.
take the shit. Here go the shit. There go one of the stories that kind of, I said, what happened? And she said, yes. I went in when I arrived in Costa Rica, and they was living in the tents outside, but they had the big house to go cook in and all that stuff. When I showed up, let me get my position right, because I look like I'm taking the shit, but I'm not taking the shit. She said, I was a virgin. And he wanted me. Now hold on. Was there a doctor present? Was there a doctor's statement? Did we have an exam on doctor's examination on file? She was a virgin. Where's the proof? Either way, because I ain't taking the shit, so I'm putting my knees down. She said,
ain't no way you doing anything like that in a tent, first and foremost.
That's where they lived at night. That's where they slept. And she said, and then he had his wife hold my hand as he took my virginity. And the wife said, oh no, I didn't want to hold her hand. Hold on. It would have been, hell no, nigga. You not having no sex with this new
Other
you're
female.
not having no sex with nobody I'm watching. I'm present. Accomplice. What's this, assisted rape? Hold her hand while I get it. That's an accomplice, right? Law team. Is that accomplice?
That's
I'm
what
not
it sounds
taking
like
this
to
shit.
me.
I put my knees down.
That's what it sounds like to me when you sit there and not even sit there, but she encouraged it too, because that girl wouldn't have been able to wasn't even gonna be in the tent unless they was invited in the first place.
She was invited to watch some TV with them in the tent.
Like what?
A movie.
And it's just so much you just got to have a sense of knowing about oneself, especially when you in those types of scenarios and predicaments, because that was ridiculous. Being even like allowing like that other girl to convince her or to set her up like that, because when you like, I feel like I've seen how females defend themselves and defend each other and really like stand on business when it comes to protecting the body, when it comes to protecting the vessel. And that girl was not about that, because if she was, she would have been. And then that also goes to show how much she wasn't even trying to support him as a man, because she would have been able to get his mind right and situate something better about going about the movie that they was watching. And even in the accomplice aspect, like there's definitely like a guilty by association. She was guilty by association. So for her to be on the day platform, the Hulu and the ESPN and the Disney, Disney is crazy, because that's just children.
Disney.
Like
Disney wasn't ever really for children. Do we need to address that in part 2? It still ain't for children.
That part, and still like showing how those like the story that they think that they were telling, because they probably got tricked too. Like you said, they were innocent. They got tricked too into telling too much of a story, or half of the story, that they were being incentivized. Because they all them people were getting their PC, and they want opportunities to do what NatureBoy was doing and following his, so that they could go and talk about, oh yeah, I did this documentary and this thing, and this is how other people be trying to shine the light from other people, and it's like almost a ritual.
And you know who else is at fault? Besides the edit button, it ain't the naysayers' fault. They ain't all negative. The edit button did it. When what you speaking on, the other ones want some of that limelight like NatureBoy, is that damn monetization option on YouTube. You got to get your subscribers up. You got to get your watch hours up. And then you can make some money being on YouTube. Tell the story, because this documentary going to reroute people to those people's social media and help them build their viewers, even if just for a moment. Because a lot of people, And I'm telling you from experience, because I'm not for the subscriber count. I will remove subscribers. You can do it in your YouTube studio. I block subscribers. Get the fuck off my platform.
Get blocked with love, okay?
But I love myself. Come on. I love myself. So, damn it, a lot of people do not unsubscribe from channels. They don't keep up with they channel like that. They subscribe and they keep on viewing, and there's some stuff they don't even watch years. And some people need to maybe do a subscribers audit on their channel.
Clean up, factory reset the whole channel.
And the spring, they say it's the spring cleaning.
Yes,
spring clean them YouTube channels. But
everything.
People who know,
sprinkling all the accounts.
Okay, if you know, you know. People will subscribe and them numbers count whether they watch you or not. And your new subscribers carry your channel on watch views. And you still get your monetized monies. Seriously. So the edit button is responsible so far, and the monetization options on these platforms like YouTube. It ain't the people in the documentary is not at fault. It's not their fault. They're not responsible for their words, for the content they shared, and for the access to information, etc., etc., etc. It's not their fault. Next, so that was one of the stories. Another story was this man, a follower of NatureBoy, was interviewed on this cult series and said, NatureBoy asked us, men, because the men was labeled, I don't know about the Y, yeah. Group A, Group B, Group C. The higher up the group, the more access you had to NatureBoy. Otherwise, you had to go through somebody to get to him. But this top person, this top man with NatureBoy said, NatureBoy asked, I'm paraphrasing, but these are some words that make these some key words. NatureBoy asked us if us men would drink, sip, gulp some of his semen. Hold on, let me do that. Drink, sip, gulp some of NatureBoy semen to prove our allegiance to him. And I sat back like, bitch, what the fuck? What? And nigga, I know you left, but he didn't leave. So after the police came, he said, straight up, he sat up and he said, and I told NatureBoy, yes, I would. I said, get the fuck out. Dude! Because why? Why would that man drink NatureBoy semen to prove his allegiance? Because NatureBoy, according to him and all of the other naysayers, already said, if you didn't do what NatureBoy wanted you to do, he would make you leave.
That's
Which means you needed a leader, that leader of choice that bad. You was they're married to that nigga like that. Because the men, plural, was willing to drink. Not here goes a little wet. Here, taste it off my finger. Taste off the drip. Taste the drip. I know me. I had to.
That is so visual.
I'm just saying, I need the visual. Y'all know I'm a visual learner. Take this drip. Can we see the drip? Drip, drip, drip. Take this drip off my finger, nigga, and prove your allegiance to me. No, dude said, NatureBoy said, will y'all drink my semen to prove your allegiance to me, grown ass nigga men? And that nigga sat there and said, I told him I would. I would have not. I I don't think I would have ever told that story if I was a man. If I was a man, that'd have been one of them things that had me packing my bag. They said his one wife escaped overnight. She told her plan. They got on my nerves. I made a plan. I got them all drunk. And when they was asleep, I packed my baby, jumped the fence, and cut the fuck out. Them niggas was happily up and you know, not to say they wasn't just willing. What the man didn't say was if NatureBoy actually followed through and offered them the drip or not. And he didn't, because he said he wanted you to drink it, so he gave your ass a cup. Dude, did you drink it or not? Did you drink the semen or not? That ain't none of my business. Like that other part wasn't my business. It just shows that his ass stayed around. Can he be convicted for that? Ignorant enough to stay around after that. But then want to talk about NatureBoy changed. Yeah, he changed. A lot of us changed. Like me, as an example, sometimes it gets to be for entertainment. Sometimes it gets to be our inner way of expressing ourselves and being creative. Sometimes it's that alter ego. Sometimes, y'all know me, I probably got like 20 personalities. Maybe at least 20.
The stone cold truth. Because somebody got to do it.
Come on now. Now, y'all who know me know when I started out in social media, I was straight up, had my clothes on. I was chilling like, yes. And please stand by. And thank you for joining us, everyone. This is the memoirs of a karmic dynasty. See you all next time. Now my ass is
no more. We here to pop out and tell somebody some real tea, okay?
I've evolved. I've changed. Who got a fucking problem?
That part.
This is what we do. I depend on who you are, I act like I'm like this. It ain't an act. I'm like this in private. My private affairs, my private relationships. And I just figure sometimes I can share it with y'all just because I'm not being with you in the same room. Don't mean you can't know a side of me. I don't have no problem sharing some of my side sometimes. Here we go. Yes, sometimes NatureBoy did shit for entertainment purposes. Who the fuck of us don't? Have not. Some of us ain't. Some of us do. And it ain't entertainment. It's just a shock value. People go, oh, he would say that? That's entertaining. Let me stand by for some more. Please stand by. You know what I mean? People, please stand by. People be like, oh, Joy's coming. Okay. She don't smoke. She don't drink. She only eat vegetables. Who the fuck told y'all that? I still ain't nobody still told me who told y'all that. Please stand by.
Heavy on the ... the ...
Drink. Please stand by. First dot, I drink. Second dot, I smoke. Third dot, I eat meat. Thank you. Oh my screen. Yes. Calm the fuck down. He do stuff for entertainment purposes. Now, let's move on to some more disrespect. Next disrespectful topic. I'm busting this shit up. As King Adonis has pointed out, and I'm saying it now, the disrespect is ABC News Studios, Disney, Hulu Plus, blah, 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 whoever fuck, put this man's life, personality on the line. Y'all put him out there in the bright daylight in public and only gave him 4 episodes. That just shows you how much money they was willing to spend. This is a low budget docuseries. Disney got some series out there that's more than 4 episodes. It ain't like 4 episodes is the max. No, any more episodes, they would have had to pay some more niggas some money. No, niggas, It's not no. It's no, niggas. We only pay X amount of dollars for y'all to get us this views, because anytime somebody wanna, because them NatureBoy videos ain't went away. They still on YouTube. They still on TikTok. They still on Instagram. They still out there. He's still out there. He got stuff to still say. So when somebody hear about him in Google, if you don't know nothing else, you're gonna hit up the search box, search bar, and put it in there, and the results is gonna come up. In the results is gonna say ABC News Studios. It's gonna say Disney Plus. You're gonna like Disney. They looking for them views. They looking to make that money. These studios make their money through these purposes, and y'all asses is gladly listening from their perspective, because a bunch of y'all is fucking sheep bulls in the first place. The same people who was interviewed, the sheep. It wasn't no stand-ups, no supporters being interviewed. It was the sheep. Because y'all sheep is the one who made Disney who they are today. Y'all sheep is the ones who made ABC News who they are today. Seriously.
Yeah, it's time.
Y'all fed into this shit. Ain't gay this man. It was a disrespect. Ain't no justice in this.
Yeah. And that was a testament to how they even they described it. It's so interesting, the terminology that they used to describe the episodes. It was like a fallen god, and like it's just like the justice of a fallen god, whatever the hell they was talking about.
Right.
It was like the audacity to put such a obscured view of such a broadly encompassing experience for thousands of people, and for all the people that was like going with NatureBoy on the journey, and like have no idea about how many different connections or impacts or audiences and networks that the work has, not even just like his own story, but the work in itself has impacted. It's a testament to like things that have been going on for so long, and they need to be corrected and adjusted, so that when we are able to talk about the like what they putting on in the news and what they're talking about for the for all the types of NatureBoy leaders, it can be higher views, seen in a higher light. It's just not acceptable. It's not acceptable for the children. It's not acceptable for the platform, and the stories that they are projecting into the cloud of content, the collective conscious cloud, is detrimental for how we are intentionally building, because we still gotta make our trips to Costa Rica and see for ourselves what the land is talking about.
Okay, because I'm still
it got codes, it got experiences, and it's the ability to be one amongst nature and do things,
seriously. And some of those teachers of NatureBoys has prepared me for when I get there. I got the heads up, so I'm be less bothered when I get there, less shock value, and enjoy myself more. So that's what I gotta say about it. Now we're gonna move on to the next one right quick, because we apparently doing a part 2. So I'm gonna post it when I get it. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. Make sure you subscribe, tap your notifications so you know when the part 2 come out, because we're gonna look at the legal perspective, and we also gonna hear some more audience feedback. I've been collecting my conversations, and I'm gonna share part of one tonight before we leave. But King Adonis mentioned the timing of this series. NatureBoy birthday was the other day, and I seen it on his Facebook page. One of his wives posted his birthday was after this docu-series aired, April 28th. And His wives have been supporting him. They've been asking the public to help support, as in they know he's going to get out. He's not going to spend life in there. And at the same time, they keep his voice alive on his Facebook page. And in a way, if you weren't aware, you wouldn't know he was locked up. They speak in that manner and keep it in that manner, but at the same time, let you know he's falsely imprisoned, and we doing all we can on our side to have this heard. Now, I've seen a brief on his page from his wives. They shared one of their followers' comments. They did a screenshot of the message and shared that on the page. But that's on there. Facebook, Eligio Bishop. Y'all can go check it out. And the first sentence this person says is, LOL, keep in mind these all grown MFs. Grown, and here go my part. Grown as fuck. As I already said, how your grown ass let another grown ass tell you where you need to be and when and how? No, if you came in on an agreement of some type, that's contract, King Adonis, right?
Yeah.
Verbal contracts stand up, don't they?
And do oral traditions or oral proposals, all of them. These are bonds, contracts, even if they it happens on a spiritual level too. It's all different types of bonds and contracts. You can opt in, opt out.
So once the contract was broken, you go on your way. So apparently, what they did was renewed that contract and kept going, or they got another contract, a brand new one, and was bound. But to say, well, he did this, he did that, did he break the contract? Apparently, they stayed, so a new contract was made, regardless of what he did. They stayed. And even after seeing his wife escape, that means the road was there for the others to go. What? Oh, she wasn't a part of the family anymore. She wasn't a part of the community anymore. Things change. Shit happens. People live. Life be lifing.
That part. That's where we talk about letting go to grow. You got to know when to let go to grow, to move on and do what's best for your dang self, for your
Right.
whole self, for all of the cells, for the body, because that's where it should have been about the nature of the body, the nature of how to experience and live, instead of getting caught up in the idealization of the godhood in somebody, in another human. Because if they were really like honoring the teachings, they would have been recognized at which point they should have, done what's best for them. Like, they ain't need to be stuck on no idols, and that's just how
Exactly.
they got looped into those types of agreements, because they were probably doing it for money and doing it for whatever they thought they was gonna benefit from in that interview. But it's the truth always comes out, and that's where it's important to recognize, like, the timing, especially. And I feel like
Yeah.
during this season, astrologically, there's so much energy going on within the Aries and the Taurus skies and the Piscean skies. It's like a lot of these different illusions and the disillusionment of other leaders is what's being showcased. The disillusionment of how the leadership has been taking place and how we moving on, because it's time to recognize what we as an individual people can take away from in these stories and these messages and transmissions.
Indeed. Right quick. And I'm gonna say this how I want things to go. But I'm not up here by myself, so we're gonna see what happens. I want to share a last point, and I want to share 2 points. Well, no, I already said I'm gonna share one of my viewers' perspectives, a part of this cult series, and then I'm going to share a topic that was subtle on the docu series. Um, and then I will like for King Adonis, he has something to share with us. I'd like for him to share, and that will be the closeout for this evening. Now, things change. So if King Adonis says different, we're gonna do different. I'm open. This is not a scripted platform. Again, this is Karmic Dynasty. It's not scripted. And or if an audience member come in and the show goes another way, this is what we're gonna do. But right now, this is my intention. So here first, I'm gonna share some of this conversation with one of the viewers, and they are not in the audience tonight. And if they are, they quiet, which is something new. But okay. Okay. Um, at the time that this person, the viewer, let's call him V for viewer. V says, I thought at the time he, speaking of NatureBoy, was a good thing for the community. And I agree. I got some good things from him. Um, but then they decided that he's not the type of person for the black community at all. He seemed like he's acting like the whitey man. And I was like, okay. And I said, well, I almost went to the jungle to see him and the nation, Carbon Nation. And they said, you did? Are you glad you didn't? I said, no, I would have liked to experience that firsthand. I didn't say, because again, I will leave. People who know me know I cut out on your ass. I might tell you, I might not. I'm cut out though. I said, I see a lot of stories and I'm on my own going to Costa Rica. I've had that in mind maybe 10 years now, way before I knew any of y'all. So to me, it was a social media. So it was a public place being there with him. Plus, he gave me people to be around, specifically Black people, and otherwise to me. And in my mind, may be a stereotype, but I only see a bunch of white tea people and Hispanics there when I show up. When I show up to Costa Rica, being there with Carbonation gave me an anchor, somewhere to be. And then sometimes, a lot of times I talk text, so I had to read, make sense of what I was saying. It didn't even come through. But my point is that the community, which King Adonis has touched on a few times, that NatureBoy put together. And as I addressed, how many other social media figures have gotten a group of people together and moved them out the country and gave such a positive light as a foundation?
Yeah.
Because in a world of polarities, it ain't just all positive. There's going to be some negatives. So NatureBoy brought the negatives too.
Yeah, to the light.
Balance. Yeah. And even the positives. Some people would say it was a negative. Those what they call them, internet investigators. It was two of them in the docuseries. Do you know? So so that's all I'm gonna say right now. Which takes me into this my topic I want to address. The hold on. Would you carry the audience for me right quick? I gotta go do something.
Yes. This was the message that we wanted to bring forward, just to give some more insight on where people can find some more info how the story was accurately like documented and seen in real time. If you want to check out on YouTube, the Hood Horrors has an extensive series about the things that were actually there and that people were experiencing, and it's a 46-part series. And just to know that everybody has their own perspective, everybody has their own take on how these stories and information, these entertainment, these conspiracy theories, these cults, these psyops, these social experiments, all these different ways are showing and impacting the community as well, and showing how the community has been impacted by these types of thought leaders and teachers for so long, and knowing how to move forward and create a better and more aware uh, representation of how to be a thought leader and be in alignment with nature energy. Hmm.
All right. So the point I was about to make carry on into the seem to be the black people there to give that foundation, that community minded. So I'm not there by myself, um, is the fact that this docu series, it attempted to make it like, oh, the young people got bamboozled. The young people's minds wasn't mature enough to see the red flags. They got they got caught up. They didn't know any better. The young people, their minds are so uh easy to scam. They're victims. They came from places where they didn't have a lot of education or family support. And Nature Boy he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, and he just came, gathered them up, and ate them. Okay. What I want to say is, for those who know, if you know, you know that's bullshit. First of all, he did have, now, not to say just one person count, but sometimes one person matters. Trust me, I got some legal documents, and in the document, the wording is persons, which means person don't count, but it counts. Don't let them tell you that. But anyway, he had an older lady on there. He did. And she even was older to the degree of she had, and this was a controversial moment, and I'm surprised they didn't address it, but they didn't. And she had blood pressure issues. And again, this ain't a medical, where my banner at? And Nature Boy attempt was to help her be natural in her remedies, in her care, and he provided her with that information, and it was her grown ass decision to accept it or not. Like, it was her grown ass decision to accept the prescriptions from her doctors in North America. But I just want to say, for those of y'all who don't know, who watched this series, it was because they try to put it out there like young people's very influential. They're so dumb and they're so sensitive in nature, and we gotta. No, that's not how that worked. All those young people was there because, like his one wife said, I looked at him as a dad. So he was older than her, apparently much older than her. He gave a father-like appearance, and a few of them said that, and that's just the type of audience that he attracted there. Mostly was the younger crowd. And really, I'm not even really gonna go further into that, because most times, and I might be being stereotypical here, because I didn't hit the 50-year-old range, but most of us older people is too busy chasing that social security check in for a few years coming up for the rest of our life. You're too busy sitting in a cubicle addressing our retirement plan, keep staying on a clock. We don't got time to go to nature. And oh, that's unheard of. Just up and pack and leave. Um, who does that? That's a young people thing. I don't got time for that. I gotta go to work. I got grandchildren up here to visit. I got a car payment. I got a house payment. My prescriptions and my doctors is up here. Get no
Gotta make a
prescriptions.
move and shake. Gotta make a move and shake. This is how we come into, come into the movement to really like stand firm on our divine assignment and be the change that we want to see in the world, to be able to Answer the call of the heart, answer the call of the spirit, answer the call to make the paradigm shift change.
Yes, so that's my piece. I shared a part of a viewer's feedback with me, which is part of why I'm even here a few weeks early, and have King Adonis up here again. Apparently, according to him, we're at least doing a two-part on this, so we'll get together and schedule part two and post it for y'all to join us. We have much more to discuss. Again, this was a four-part series. We'll be looking at the legal perspective. King Adonis does have a law background. He can tell you more about that when and if he won't. Probably as a good intro to the part two.
Yes, yes.
If you do the legal one then. And you had a movie. Oh, you had something you was gonna share with us. Speaking
Oh,
of visuals,
is that an invitation for one of the Guardians to come through?
yes, let's do it.
Awesome. We have the first power the first power that came through was the power of the grizzly bear. Is the message of the Guardians is the bear, the mother. This is the month of May, and we are honoring the mother in the month of May. And where else can you go to honor thy mother and but in nature? And and the Christians, they got their commandment to honor the mother and the father so the days can be longer. So shout out to that. But also the message here is know that we are indestructible, and to honor to honor our intuition and go where it leads, to love the gentleness and the real strength, and to never give up because we always succeed. This is a message of nature's embodiment, nature's power, and things that go on in the seen and unseen, and to be able to do things differently, and to sing a wild song, to manifest the travel dreams that rightfully get along with the attempts of greater journeys, greater confidence, greater mysteries, greater loves, and to be brave because we are more powerful than we ever known. This is the time to be able to make and embrace change, and to be the leaders, be the knowers, be the embodiments, the communicators of the shifts in real time as we make these paradigm shifts. We give honor and gratitude to all of those here with us.
Honor and gratitude.
Yes, yes. Catch us here for part two as we get into more of the case details and the real legal works of how the system has been working, and these terms and the conditions as we break down the contracts and the bonds and the connections to see how this series really has unfolded in another way. So gratitude for having me here. You can catch me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at Devleo Adonis. That's Devloh Adonis. Much love, much gratitude. And y'all know we here at Karmic Dynasty where we get all the real deal tea, the spill, and multiple perspectives of all of our personality.
Yeah, it'll be up here. I'm dancing. I did it to myself. All right, y'all. We out this piece. Again, everybody, welcome to Karmic Dynasty. Again, I'm glad to be back. I'm feeling at home now. I'm at home on my platform. This was up. We'll see y'all in part two. Y'all
Peace,
go check out that
peace.
NatureBoy series. Peace.
Yes.